Hey, what is up everyone? Hope you're all having a wonderful time. Today we're going to showcase the Void Knight AUTOBOMBER in Last Epoch. If you like to just run around with the minimum buttons to press and see everything die around you, this is the build for you. You will also not be needing any uniques for this build to work, so it's a great one to start your adventure with if this is your first character or maybe just new to the game. This build uses a thing by locking your skills with your notepad, making it so you will outcast your skill for you, but more about that later in the video. And this makes your character lag a little bit once you do the autocasting, and it will make the cast animation real quick, but in my opinion you get used to it quite fast. So very basic how this build works. You put 2 of the skills on Autocast, which is Devouring Orb for your AUTOBOMBER, and you use Anomaly to boost your character for even more damage. Then we have Sigils of Hope to boost our damage even further, and this also have a chance to be summoned when we do kill enemies. We also are using Smite as our fill skills to help us with our single target. And lastly we are using the skill Shield Rush for mobility. It's a quite tanky build just because we are leeching life from all of our skills, and there are quite a bit of them all the time dealing damage around us. We do lack a bit of single target at the moment, I feel. Nothing too crazy, but for clearing echoes it's absolute S tier build material. Before we go over the build, just a quick reminder to like the video and also subscribe to the channel to show support. And with that said, let's continue with the build. So let's go over the skill tree, and the main ability that we are using is called Devouring Orb. And here you want to take 1 point over here with Void Adept, following with Hollow Orb, 1 point here in Abyssal Emeration, and 3 points in Dark Torrent. We have 1 point here in Dark Moon, 1 point here in Abyssal Rush, going down Cosmic Impact, and 5 point in Extinction, 2 point in Riftcaller, and 4 point in World Rot. The next skill that we are using is called Smite. And here you want to take 3 points to the right with Pillars of Light. We have 5 point in Sacrifice. We have 3 point in Atonement. 5 point here in Conviction. And 4 point here in Deep Impact. For the third skill that we are using is called Anomaly. And here we want to go to the right and take 1 point in Void Touched, 1 point in Time Bubble. We have 5 point in Decimation. We are taking 4 in Temporal Mastery, 1 over here in Time Lord, and down here we have 1 point in Lingering Memory, 2 points here in Manipulation, 4 points in Time Eater, and for our last point, 1 in Void Maw. The next skill that we are using is called Sigils of Hope. And here we want to go to the left, and we want to take 4 points in Empowering Sigil, and 1 here in Last Wish. We have 3 points here in Decree of Flame, and 1 point in Sigil of Despair. Moving down, going 2 points in Invigorated, 3 points in Quieted Mind, and 1 point in Polygram. We have 2 points in Iron Sigil, and 3 points in Enduring Hope. For the last skill that we are using is called Shield Rush. And here we want to pick 6 points in Rush Mastery. And this is pretty much the only one that we need to put points in, and everything else is optional. But the way I went is 2 points over here in Protected Speed, 5 points in Unstoppable Charge, we have 5 points in Consuming Path, and also 2 points in Will Breaker. So let's go over the gear and the stats. And as I mentioned at the start, you don't really need any uniques for this build to work. However, there is one that I think is very nice to this build, and they are so very easy to get, so I included them anyway. And these rings are called Siphon of Anguish. And this is a very easy ring to get. Once you get to Monolith, you will start to find echoes to the boss Shades of Ouroboros, and once you defeat him, you will have a very high chance of getting the ring from him. The main thing here is the void damage leash as health and the leashing rate, which will help you to stay alive really nicely. But also get some other stats from this as well that will benefit for us, such as the move speed. We got some elemental resist from the base, and also the increased doom effect. And for your weapon, here you just want to get as much spell damage and spell critical strike chance as you can get. You could also go and grab some void damage, or critical multiplier works as well. For the chest, you want to go for the mod with increased void damage and also added spell void damage. For the helm, you want to find plus skills to Devouring Orb if you can find one. Colon recovery is nice to have as well. For the shield, just go as much block chance and block effectiveness as possible. For the gloves and also the relic, you can try and get as much cast speed as you can get just to boost our single target with Smite. Other than that, just try to get as much resist, you want as much health, and if you can also get some endurance for the rest of the stats. And also for your amulet, you can try to get some void penetration here as well. For the idols, you want to get 2 huge idols for the sentinel, and here you want to get increased damage if you have cast a Devouring Orb recently, and this will obviously boost our damage quite a lot. We're also using 2 large idols with the chance to gain inspiration on kills with void spells, and the inspiration buff is giving us a 20% colon recovery, so very nice overall. Other than that, for your minor idols, just try to get as much life and resist as you can get. Moving on to the passives, and here starting with the passive base class Sentinel. Here we want to put 8 points in Fearless, want to go 1 point in Gladiator, and this is so we get the block chance, the 3% there. You want 5 points in Armor Clad, and 1 point in Relentless, and you remind 5 in Time and Faith. Just going to Forge Guard, and here you want to put 1 point in Steel Aegis, also there for the block chance. And in the Paladin, we also have 1 point in Honor, and this is also for the additional block chance it provides. And once at the Paladin, here is very important we need 15 points to get the Sigil of Hope, and I do recommend you to get this quite early on once you do playthrough, because they are boosting our damage quite a bit. Here we want to take 4 points in Defiance. I put 5 points here in Valor. You can put some more points here in Defiance if you want to for the Elemental Resist. I went and got Valor for the health. And then just 5 points here in Heaven's Fire for adapted spell damage with a shield. Moving on to the user one, the Void Knight, which is also the mastered class. Here you have 6 points in Temporal Corruption. We have 10 points in Abyssal Endurance. We have 6 points down here with World Eater. 1 point here in Void Corruption. And also 8 points down here in Void Bolt. Jumping over a bit to Re-announcement, 5 points here. Moving on to Echoing Strike, 5 points. Going to Dread, put all our points here for the increased damage and movement speed. And we have 1 point here in Avatar of Regret. All the next points that we are putting in is in Eternal Form. It is providing us more health. After that, you can also go and grab your reminder points in Time Legion for additional echo chance. And let's talk real quick on how to set up your skills to autocast for you. So first you want to go to settings and you want to go to inputs, and here you want to put whatever numpad keys that you want for your each respective skills that you want to be autocasted. So for my case I put keypad 1 on the Q, keypad 2 on W, keypad 3 E, keypad 4 on R. Alright, going back to the game. So after you've done that, what you want to do is you want to press down the skill that you want to be autocasted. So I'm gonna push down the numpad 1 key, which is the Q one, and then press the numlock key on top. And as you can see now, this skill is going to be autocasted for us. And you can do this for as many skills as you want. So we'll just repeat the process here with the next one here. So I will press down numpad 2 and the numlock, which is the W there. And now you can see that they are both outcasting for us. And as I mentioned, you can do this for as many skills that you want, and you could move around, you can go to new areas, you can go and craft or do whatever you want, and it will still be outcasting your skills for you. The only thing is, if you are pressing outside the game for on a second monitor for instance, this loop will end and you will have to start it up all again. Alright everyone, so this has been a showcase of the Void Knight Autobomber. Comment down below if you found this video helpful, and also don't forget to like the video and consider subscribing to the channel to show your support. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!